गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जना यशोदनन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय विश्वगुरु शील प्रभुपदा विश्वगुरु शील प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शतः श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस विश्वगुरु श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शतः श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस शील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। विश्वगुरु शील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणम्। हरे कृष्णा எல்லோருக்கும் பொங்கல் வாழ்த்துக்கள். Wish you all a very happy Pongal. So we are all assembled here today to celebrate the Pallaki Utsavam of Sri Krishna Balarama and Sri Gauranga Nitai. We all have taken them around, and this tradition is there of taking the deities out on either a Pallaki or on a chariot, Ratha. The tradition is there in every temple. The most famous, of course, is Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra, isn't it? So every temple has this kind of festival where the lordships go out. So I remember in my childhood, when I was studying in school, there was a newspaper, news announcement. One day suddenly I saw in the newspaper front page, today the new president of India has been chosen, and it was at that time Gyani Zail Singh. Zail Singh has become the president of India. It was all over the newspapers and all that. So those days there was no television also. I am talking the 80s. No television also. Only radio was there, newspaper was there. So for us, we saw on the newspaper the picture of the president of India, and okay, new president has been chosen, that's it. And in the classes also, teachers also asked the children, general knowledge, who is the president of India? The children will all raise their hands. And okay, Zail Singh is the new president and all that. So there was no opportunity for us to see the president like that. All of a sudden one day, this is in Bangalore, the teachers announced that today we will all be going out of the school to the main road. So we are all thinking, why are we being taken there? Then they announced, president is going to come. So all of us get an opportunity to see him. So we all went, all the children, not only our school, many schools children had come. They were all lined up on the main road. And after, we were all waiting there. And after a few minutes, one huge convoy came. 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally the president's car came. And he was waving his hand out of the window. We were all seeing, and we were all clapping, and different kinds of things were going on. And then the car went on and it went away. So you see, for us in those days, even today also, if we want to see the president of India or the prime minister of India, today of course we have a little more greater access. We can see in the television, we can see in the news, we can see in social media, we can see in the newspapers. But live, directly if we want to see, that is not so easy. Suppose I say today I am a citizen of India and we only have elected the Prime Minister and the President. After all, our votes only have given them that post. So I want to go and meet him. Can you and I go and meet him? Not possible. We won't even get beyond that in Delhi, if you go, there is that Rajpath. That's the road which leads to the president's, that whatever they call that, Raj Bhavan or whatever. So you won't even be able to get there. There itself security will stop. Why you are going? Why you want to meet? They will start investigating. They will start interrogating, right? So not easy to meet the president or the prime minister. But if the president or prime minister comes out, during elections especially, they will come out. There will be rallies, they will come out on the streets and they will meet all the people. Then you will get an opportunity to meet. Isn't it? Otherwise, very tough. Similarly, the Lord also, Krishna Balarama are in the temple, Gauranga Nitai are in the temple. Now, when inside the temple, not everybody comes to see the Lord. Although the Lord, Krishna is seated in Goloka Vrindavan, he is in the spiritual realm. So if we want to go there and meet him and see him, not possible. We need so much qualification. In our present conditioned life, so many anarthas are in our heart: kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, matsarya, anger, envy, greed, and lust. All these things are ruling our hearts. So when these things are ruling our heart, we cannot go to the spiritual world and meet the Supreme Lord. Not possible. So what happens? The Lord, out of His mercy, out of His compassion, takes the Archa Vigraha form, takes the form of the deity in the temple and descends into the temple. So anybody, no matter what his state is, he can come to the temple and have darshan of the Supreme Lord Krishna. But then although Krishna is so compassionately descended into the Archa Vigraha form, and there are thousands and thousands of temples where people can go and see, still not everybody goes to the temple to visit, to see the Lord. So what happens? Krishna says, okay, I have come down from the spiritual world to the material world to give you darshan, but you are not coming to see me, so I will come out. Once in a year, twice in a year, the Lord will come out of the temple onto the street. That is called causeless mercy. Although we are not interested, we may not be interested in seeing the Lord, we may not be interested in going to the temple, still Krishna comes out of the temple onto the roads so that all those people who are not even coming to the temple, they will get an opportunity to see Him. And anybody who sees the Supreme Lord like that, going in a Pallaki, in a Ratha, it is of great benefit to those people. So, the Supreme Lord, Krishna, He has various ways He keeps thinking of how to bestow His compassion upon the people. The people in this material world, we are all not so much interested in going back to Godhead, going back to Vaikuntha, purifying ourselves, attaining liberation. These are not at the top of our mind. These are not the goals of our life. But even though we are not so interested, Krishna is far more interested in seeing that we go back to the spiritual world. Just like a loving father, if a son has left the home and gone away, and suppose the father is a very rich person and the son is loitering in the street, he is not even getting proper food to eat. So the son may not be interested in going back home, but the father is constantly thinking of the son. My son is suffering. He is so much distressed. He is not even having enough food to eat. He is not having proper place to stay. He is not having enough clothes to wear. Why is he suffering like this? Somehow or the other, let me get him back home. Father will constantly, loving father will always constantly be thinking of his son, although son may not be interested. Similarly, we all have forgotten our relationship with Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mamaimamso Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatanaha. Eternally we are part and parcel of Krishna. And Krishna has also said that Aham Bija Prada Pita Sarva Yonishu Kaunteya. Krishna says, I am the seed-giving father of all living entities. So Krishna is the father of all living entities. We are all His children. But we have forgotten that relationship. But Krishna has not forgotten. So what happens? Therefore Krishna says that Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. Every yuga Krishna says, I descend. I take an incarnation and come down. Why? What is the reason for Krishna to come down? He is missing something there. If he comes here, he will get some more enjoyment. Nothing like that. Krishna is enjoying unlimitedly in the spiritual world. There is nothing in the material world which will attract him. But he comes for us, to take us back to Godhead, to give us knowledge about himself. Krishna comes. And when Krishna comes, what does he do? Two things he does. He will perform his pastimes, his leelas, to demonstrate to us how Krishna enjoys in the spiritual abode. How Krishna, along with his devotees, is enjoying unlimited bliss. There is only Ananda there. There are no miseries there like in this material world. The Tapatraya, the three kinds of miseries. Miseries arising out of our own body and mind. Miseries arising out of other living entities. And miseries arising out of supernatural causes. So these three kinds of miseries are constantly harassing everyone in the material world. And it's not just these three kinds of miseries. Added to this, there is birth, death, old age and disease. So constantly we are being harassed in the material world. So now Krishna wants to save us from this miserable condition. And so he comes from the spiritual world along with his devotees to the material world and demonstrates how everybody in all the devotees of Krishna are enjoying the spiritual world without having to undergo these problems of the material world. So Krishna comes first to demonstrate his leelas, to show a trailer how in the spiritual world everybody is living in great ananda. Second thing Krishna does is Krishna gives us transcendental knowledge. Krishna gives his instructions, the Bhagavad Gita, how we can go there. One is showing the trailer, this is how spiritual world is. Now I develop, when I see Krishna and his pastimes, I develop a desire. Now, yes, I also want to go there. So how to go there? So Krishna gives his instructions in the Bhagavad Gita, how by following those instructions we can go back to that spiritual world. Now, although Krishna has given instructions and Krishna has shown his pastimes, still what happens? We are incapable of understanding those instructions. Very difficult. We will concoct all kinds of meanings out of those instructions of Krishna. So, Krishna, what he does? Krishna sends his pure devotees, his Shuddha Bhaktas, Uttamadhikari Vaishnavas, to come and explain Krishna's instructions to us. So these personalities come down as Acharyas, as the Gurus. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his instructions to Srila Rupa Goswami, he says, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev. Brahmanda, in this Brahmanda, in this universe is full of living entities. On these earthly planets, we have human beings, animals, plants, trees, insects, all kinds of living entities. Then there are Swargalokas, there are heavenly planets where there are Gandharvas, there are Devatas, Apsaras, all kinds of personalities are there. All the Devatas reside in the Swargalokas. Then above that, there are the Siddhalokas, where those who have attained Yoga Siddhi, they live in those planets. Then further above that, there are Janaloka, Maharloka. Finally, there is the Brahmaloka, which is the planet where Lord Brahma resides. So, Brahmanda Brahmite, from that topmost planet of Brahmaloka down to Patala Loka, there are innumerable planets, and all planets are filled with living entities, different kinds of living entities. So, all those planets, the living entities are roaming around. How they are roaming? Suppose in this lifetime I do a lot of punya karma. What will happen? I will be able to take a birth in Swargaloka. And in Swargaloka, further punya I perfect myself, I can go to Siddhaloka. And from Siddhaloka, I can further do punya and further elevate myself. Like that, one lifetime I can become Brahma also of some universe. And after enjoying the lifespan of Brahma in one universe, what will happen? All my punya is over. Kshine punye martya lokam vishanti. Again, I will have to take birth in the earthly planet. And after taking again birth as a human being, if I commit sinful activities, what will happen? I will fall into lower species. I will go down to the Patala Loka. So, the living entities are roaming in this whole universe, from Patala up to Brahma Loka, constantly revolving. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Brahmanda Brahmite. Like this, Brahmana is happening, the living entity is roaming up and down in this material universe with no goal in life, no purpose, constantly roaming like this, directionless. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev. Like this, how many living entities are there? Innumerable, infinite. If you take the population of human beings on the earth itself, it comes to almost 800 crores. It appears like a big number, but if you look at the number of animals, plants, trees, insects, germs, birds, if you take all these into account, human species is a very small number. This is one earthly planet. Now imagine Brahmanda, in this Brahmanda, right from Brahmaloka down to Patala Loka, how many living entities will be there? You cannot count. Uncountable. Infinite living entities are there. This is one universe. Like this, innumerable universes are there. So to count the number of living entities in the material world is impossible. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Brahmanda Brahmite. Like this, every Brahmanda, every living entity is roaming, top to down. Different planets, different forms, different lives. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev. Out of all these millions and millions of living entities, very rarely one soul, what happens? Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bija. He gets the kripa, compassion of Guru and Krishna. And by Guru and Krishna's compassion, their kripa is seen how? Not by solving my material problems, solving my financial problem. I have some health problem, I go and pray in the temple and the health problem is solved. That's not the real kripa of the Lord. Okay, that is also kripa. But that's not the full kripa of the Lord. Just like suppose there is the king of some country, let us say. You go to the king and you beg for some benefit, something you want. And the king says, okay, you tell me what you want. You want a village, you want a town, you want a city, you want a country, what do you want? I'll give you. And you say, I want 1 rupee. So the king says, okay, take 1 rupee, what is there? So going to the king and asking for something and getting 1 rupee is not the real benefit you can get from the king. If you want from the king, you can get a whole kingdom. You can become a king yourself. But instead, if you go and ask for 1 rupee, what is there? So similarly, if you go to the Supreme Lord Krishna and ask for some material problem to be solved, that's not the real kripa of the Supreme Lord. Although Krishna will give that also. So many people go to Tirupati, Balaji, isn't it? And millions of people go and they pray there and they have some problem to be solved and they pray to the Lord that if you solve this problem, I'll come and I'll donate this much to the temple. Then their problem becomes solved and they come back and donate to the temple also. Not only Tirupati Balaji, everywhere, in every temple you will see thousands of people flocking like this. So the Lord reciprocates also, but that's not his true kripa. Guru Krishna kripai, pai bhakti lata bija. The real kripa of Krishna is given to very, very rare souls. And those rare souls get bhakti lata bija. They get the seed of the creeper of bhakti in their heart. So Guru Krishna kripai pai. So Krishna's kripa, how does it come in our life? Everybody is going to Krishna temples all over the world. They are going to Tirupati Balaji. There will be, even in Chennai we have in Triplicane, we have a Parsarthi temple. So like this, we have many, many temples of Krishna and Perumal. So people are going there in thousands. They are visiting the temples. They are all getting kripa. But all of them, are they getting bhakti lata bija in their heart? No, they are not getting. So then, when it says Krishna kripai pai bhakti lata bija, what does it mean? So Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev. Very, very rarely, what happens is Krishna's kripa, when Krishna shows his real kripa to a very rare soul, what will happen? Krishna will guide, as Paramatma within the heart, Krishna will guide that soul to a bona fide spiritual master, to a bona fide guru, like Srila Prabhupada. And when you come to a bona fide guru, like Srila Prabhupada, a pure devotee, a Shuddha Bhakta, what will happen? He will engage you in devotional service. He will not tell, come, I'll give you some vibhuti, I'll give you some ashirvad, all your problems will be solved. Prabhupada never said that. Whoever approached Prabhupada said, you are coming to me for some temporary solution, I'll give you a permanent solution. What is that? Give up this material world, go to the spiritual world. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. No matter how much ashirvad I give you, this material world will be a place of misery. Have you heard any saintly person telling you this? Any saintly person you go to, they will tell, give me some dakshina, I'll give you some ashirvad, all your problems will be solved, you will live happily. Nobody will tell you that this material world is a place of misery, you can never be happy here. But when you come to Prabhupada, that's the first thing he tells you. This is a miserable place. Why are you planning to live here? Forget this. Give up this material world. Come to the spiritual world. That is a bona fide guru. That is the real guru to whom Krishna will guide you if Krishna shows real kripa upon you. So, getting a real spiritual master in your life is not something like, I go to the market, I see on the social media, so many different kinds of gurus are there, so I will choose whoever I feel good hearing. No, it's not like that. Krishna Kripa, Krishna has to show you Kripa to take you to the right person, to bring you to Srila Prabhupada. So it is not a matter of my choice. I will figure out who is the Guru and approach him. It will never happen. Krishna has to guide you. Krishna has to show you the Kripa, and he has to guide you to the Guru, and Guru will guide you back to Krishna. This is the whole process. Guru Krishna Kripai Pai Bhakti Lata Bija. Means Guru Kripai, Krishna Kripai Pai Bhakti Lata Bija. And anybody who comes to Prabhupada, what happens? They read Prabhupada's books, they get in touch with the devotees, they come to the temple, what happens? They will all start chanting Hare Krishna. They will start reading Prabhupada's books, which are all based on Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. We all become devotees of Krishna. All of us, most of us, we are all Indians. We have all grown up going to Krishna temples, hearing about Krishna, Mahabharata, Ramayana, Krishna's lifting Govardhan hill. All these things are, we have been hearing it since childhood. Our grandmothers, our mothers, parents, they have all taught us all these things. But by hearing all these things, did we become devotees of Krishna? We did not become devotees of Krishna. Okay, we might have, whenever we go to the temple of Krishna, we will pray, we will show our respects. But did we become devotees of Krishna? Krishna was also, like many other devatas, another god for us. Lord Shiva is there, Ganesha is there, like that Krishna is also there. We go to Shiva temple also, we'll come to Krishna temple also. That's all. But whoever comes in touch with Prabhupada, what happens? We all, after coming in touch with Prabhupada's books, reading about Krishna, we got a completely different understanding. Oh, this is what Krishna is. I didn't know about Krishna. I didn't know that Krishna was such a great personality like this. I always thought that Krishna was just like everybody else. But no, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the absolute truth. He is the Param Satya. This understanding we will get when we read Prabhupada's books, when we read Bhagavad Gita, which is written by Prabhupada. Otherwise, we will not get this understanding. In fact, Prabhupada says in the introduction to the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada writes about how one lady approached the Prabhupada and asked Prabhupada that, can you please recommend to me an authorized version of the English version of the Bhagavad Gita? So at that time, Prabhupada is speaking in the 60s and 70s, about 70 years back almost. At that time itself, Prabhupada says there were 700 editions of Bhagavad Gita in English. Today it will be in thousands. So Prabhupada says then when he considered the lady's question, Prabhupada realized that none of the editions of the Bhagavad Gita are authorized. And so therefore Prabhupada said, Prabhupada decided to write an English commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. So even today, there are thousands and thousands editions of the Bhagavad Gita in the market. But how many people study those editions of the Bhagavad Gita and become devotees of Krishna? Zero. Not even one. Whereas, all those people even today who read Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, they will all become devotees of Krishna without fail. Guru Krishna Kripai Pai Bhakti Lata Bija. So, if a soul is sincere and he sincerely desires to know who is the Supreme Lord, what is my relationship with Him, what is the purpose of my life, eating, sleeping, mating and defending, these things are not the real purpose of life. When these questions arise in an inquisitive person's heart, what happens? Paramatma is sitting in the heart. The Upanishads state, Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakaya Samane Vrikshe Parishashva Jate. So the Upanishad give a metaphor of a tree, saying that there is a tree on which two birds are sitting. And these two birds are friends with each other. And one of the birds, he is eating the fruits of the tree. And sometimes the fruit of the tree is very sweet. Sometimes it is very bitter. And this one bird is eating, sometimes getting sweet fruit, sometimes getting bitter fruit. It is enjoying the fruits of the tree. Another bird, which is the friend of this first bird, he is sitting and he is not eating the fruits, he is simply watching this other bird. This bird is my friend, but forgetting me, he is simply eating sweet and bitter fruits. When will he turn towards me? This other bird is waiting. So this metaphor is actually explaining the tree refers to the body. So we in the body, we are situated in the body. We are tenants in the body. And along with us, there is Paramatma also. So the Atma and Paramatma are compared to two birds. And we, the Atma, we are constantly enjoying or suffering the results of our activities. Sometimes the results of our activities, if we have done Punya Karma, there is material happiness. And sometimes, due to our past Papa Karma, we have to suffer. So, sweet and bitter fruits, alternatively, we are going on tasting in the material world. Happiness and misery, we are enjoying and suffering in the material world. Now, Paramatma, who is also seated in our heart, he is not engaged in any punya or papa and enjoying or suffering the results of that papa and punya. What is he doing? He is waiting. When will this Atma, who is my friend, when will he turn towards me? And the moment a living entity, even a slight inquisitiveness crops up in his heart. What is this whole world? What is death? What happens after death? Where do we all go? You know, these are all big mysteries in the material world. I remember in my childhood, we were all friends, we were all playing together, and we used to live in a house, we used to stay in the first floor, ground floor, there was another family. So we all used to be friends. You know, all the houses nearby, all the children will get together evenings and we would play. So one day we were playing in the house where we were staying on the first floor. And we were sitting on the balcony and we were playing. And suddenly we heard some, a lot of noise happening. And then we all, children, we were all probably 10 years, 12 years old, that kind of age. So we all stood up in the balcony and we were watching, what is all this noise? So we saw a procession going. Even now you will see sometimes. There is a procession, a lot of people walking, and there is a carriage carrying a dead body. So suddenly, all of us children, we fell quiet. We were playing till then, jumping, shouting and all. Suddenly we all became quiet and we were watching the procession walk by. And all of us were silently watching. And then one of them, slowly he asked, that man has died. Where has he gone? What has happened to him? Another boy, nobody had an answer. Another boy popped up. He volunteered. He said, maybe it is like sleeping. When we sleep, we lose consciousness, we forget everything. Maybe like that, the dead body is there. Maybe he is sleeping. Who knows? And I was hearing this and the answer didn't satisfy me. But where is the answer? There is no answer. I go to school, I go to my teachers, there are my textbooks. Nobody talks about all these things. So anyway, something is happening, we don't know what is death. Okay, after some time we forgot and we continued playing. But that experience till today, 40 years back, what happened, it's still fresh in my mind. Because that left an indelible question in my mind. What happens at the time of death? None of your colleges will teach you. None of your school textbooks will teach you. Your science, your physics, mathematics, biology, none of these things will tell you about this. What happens at the time of death? After death, what happens to you? Where do you go? When somebody dies, we all say, oh, this person left us and went. Where did he go? Who is the person who left and went? The body is still lying there. Whole life you are calling this person as XYZ. That body is still lying there and you are saying he has left and gone. So who left and went? And that person whom he left and whom you are saying has left and gone, then during your whole life, did you see him actually? You never saw him, you are only seeing the body. So you see, it's a big mystery in the material world. These kind of questions, nobody has answers. So all through my school, my college, never came across any discussion on this topic. Although always in my mind this question was running. What is this whole world about? What is this life about? What is the goal in life? After death, what happens? Nobody seems to be talking about it. And then when I was about 22 years old, 23 years old, I came across Prabhupada's book. There I am reading My God, what is this? This is the reality. It is staring in our face. In the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, that's the beginning lesson that we all learn. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuhyati. That's the first lesson we learn. In this life, we are going through infancy, then childhood, then youth, then old age, and finally we die. And within this life, we are changing so many bodies. When we grow up as a young child, we give up the body of the baby. And when we become youths, we give up the body of the child. When we become old, we give up the body of the youth. So within this life, we have changed so many bodies. But we are constant. So Krishna extrapolates that in the Bhagavad Gita and he says, so it follows that at the time of death, the body will remain, we will leave behind the body, we will continue to exist somewhere else, in some other body. We give up the body of the baby, we get the body of the child. We give up the body of the child, we get a youth's body. We give up the youth's body, we will get an old body. So every step we give up one body, we are getting another body. So at the time of death, we will give up the current body which we have, another body will be ready for us, for occupation. So you see, constantly, jatasya hi dhruva mrityur janma mritasya cha. The moment a person dies, what happens? His next birth is guaranteed. Moment a person takes birth, his death is also guaranteed. These are the first lessons in the Bhagavad Gita, which nobody teaches us. And if you read the thousands of editions of the Bhagavad Gita also, this knowledge will not strike you. When you read Prabhupada's books, that is when it strikes you. Yes, this is the reality which is staring at us, or staring at all of us in our face, but we are blind to that truth. So, Guru Krishna Kripai Pai Bhakti Lata Bija. To come in touch with such a Guru who will open your eyes to spiritual knowledge, that bringing in touch with that Guru is the Kripa of Krishna. So that is not in your hand and my hand to go out, search out and get the right kind of Guru. We can pray to Krishna. We can have the desire, that driving motivation to find out a Guru, bona fide Guru who will really guide me to the truth. But ultimately, it is the Kripa of Krishna that you will get guided to the bona fide Guru. And if we are not sincere in that desire, what will happen? There are so many pseudo gurus in this material world who will make you feel very comfortable in sense gratification. No, you do this, you will be happy. You do this, you will be happy. But if you come to Prabhupada will say you can never be happy in the material world. You see this? How Prabhupada's teachings are totally different. Because Prabhupada is speaking the absolute truth. He is not interested in satisfying you in some mentally, give some, this one, satisfaction, tell something and satisfy you and send you away. No. Prabhupada is wanting to present only the truth. So to get such a Guru like Prabhupada, that Krishna has to guide you to that Guru. So Krishna's Kripa is manifested in varieties of ways. Like we saw today, Krishna Balaram went out. Krishna and Balaram have advented here as in the Archa form, as deities. That is their first manifestation of their mercy. Then they go out on the roads once in a year to give darshan and to attract the people, to announce to the people, see, I am here, come and meet me. If you want, every day you can come and meet me in the temple. So that's the open invitation Krishna and Balaram are giving. And once you come to the temple, there is Prabhupada. You read Prabhupada's books and you get transcendental knowledge. And when we start following the instructions of Prabhupada, we start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we start following the 4 regulative principles, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication. That is the real Kripa of Krishna. And to get that, one has to be very fortunate. So, it is to our great fortune that we have come in touch with a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada as our Guru, as our spiritual master, So, this very, very rare opportunity that we have got, we should not let it go. We should grab it with both our hands, meaning we should make it a point to read all of Prabhupada's books, and we have to very seriously follow Prabhupada's instructions. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the most important activity for a devotee, for a bhakta. The first bija, when Prabhupada gives that seed of the creeper of devotional service in our life, the first thing that we learn is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because in Kali Yuga, Kalau Nama Rupe Avatara. Kali Yuga, Krishna has taken avatara, Krishna has incarnated as the holy name. So if we constantly remain in touch with the incarnation of Krishna, with Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then what happens? Gradually everything will be revealed within our heart. All the transcendental knowledge, what is our relationship with Krishna, what is the spiritual world, where do we go after death, how do we achieve that spiritual world, all these things will be revealed in our heart. And in practicing this chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is very simple and easy in the modern day Kali Yuga. We don't have to give up our houses, we don't have to give up our material duties, we don't have to go to the forest, we don't have to go to the Himalayas, we don't have to undergo severe tapasya. None of those things are required. Simply chant Hare Krishna, honor Krishna Prasadam, go back to Godhead. And whenever you find time, read Prabhupada's books and then do little bit of Sankirtan. Simple and easy. So this is the process which is there given for Kali Yuga. This is the special Kripa of Krishna. So we should all take it with both hands and we should practice this. So I would like to take this opportunity. Malas are being distributed. All of us together, I'll request Mukunda Madhav Prabhu to lead us, all of us, to chant one mala of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, to invoke the blessings and the Kripa of Krishna on this auspicious occasion of Pongal, and to take shelter of the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and get the full Kripa of Krishna in our lives. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Krishna Balarama ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.